this is gonna work. I spray, you pray.
You're listening to Heroes Untapped, a Heroes of the Storm podcast tailored towards the Australian and the New Zealand HOTS community. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Disconcur here, and welcome to, believe it or not, episode 5 of Heroes Untapped, the ANZ podcast created for the ANZ community, which is now available on iTunes. So if everyone that's been asking for that, you can now listen to the podcast tomorrow. Well, I hope not tomorrow morning, because iTunes apparently takes 6 months to get stuff up, but it will be there eventually. You can go and watch the previous 4 episodes. Anyway, tonight's episode, I am joined this week by my co-host, Happyrage. What's going on, good sir? How has your week been in the Nexus?
Yeah, been playing a lot of Hero League, actually. Just got to rank 1 right before the reset, yes. So mission accomplished there. A lot of solo queue. It was fun. Actually, I think solo queue Hero League is actually the funnest thing to do inside Hero League, because it's actually a challenge. It's like you go inside a 5-stack, and it's just like, unless you're versing another 5-stack, it's just a joke. No skill.
Yep.
You can pretty much pick the troll champions and still win. So yeah, fun toss.
All right, that's awesome. Unfortunately, I do not have the same experience in single queue or stacked. I get stomped no matter what I do. And joining us on the show tonight is our awesome guest from Team Apex. It is Kruvin. How are you tonight, Kruvin? How has your week been inside the Nexus as well?
It's been great, actually. Been trying out a Monk a lot today. He's actually a viable solo support. So you were wrong, Michael. I'm sorry. That was a bad call on your part. Some of the healing I've been doing has been absolutely insane against bad teams. It remains to be seen how well he does competitive. But I was listening into some stuff that Tempo Storm were talking about, and they're talking him up a fair bit. So probably going to work well with Dive Comp. So I'm pretty excited about that, because the support meta is a bit stale at the moment.
All right, that is really good. We are going to talk a little bit about the Monk later, but at first glance I played him on the PTR, and I did think a couple of times I thought, man, doesn't appear to be a very good solo support choice, but I am not a competitive player at all. My first assumption. So I'm glad it's wrong, because it would have sucked to have another failed support. All right, so we have got another big show, because obviously we had the PTR patch drop last week, and this week we've had the actual patch come live. So there was so much to go through that we didn't quite finish everything last week. Particularly, just a quick summary of how the heroes have changed. There was 19 hero changes, massive amount. So it's so that's the big part of the show. Also, obviously, we'll talk about the Monk. We have the August Brawl hype this weekend. Awesome tournament going on. Other events coming on the ANZ scene as well. And then just a bunch of other things. You can go cross-promotional events, the US Championships, what Team Immunity will be going to. And then, a list of other bits and pieces. So, get us started, Happyrage. Let us talk about the patch notes. What has changed? What hasn't? What do you recommend in the PTR and didn't make it into live?
I actually don't know what didn't make it into live. I haven't played any games at all yet, but from the 3 PTR games I played, I got a little bit of knowledge. Not too much, but a little bit.
Well, this is why I'm trying to cross-reference. Do you know what didn't come in the live? My map, my new Infernal Shrines map did not come. That is my favorite map. I love playing on the PTR. I would have happily had that be the only map in Heroes of the Storm. And it's not here. Where is it? Haven't we tested it for a week? Shouldn't it be fixed by now?
No idea. I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was too unbalanced. I mean, they're a little bit powerful in the early game. A lot more powerful than other, golems and I guess the demons from the other map. But not too bad.
Didn't quite make it in. All right, crew. Just what about you? Where's my map, mate? I was wrong about the Monk. I was wrong about the map coming out. I'm horrified.
Well, you got me on when the patch was coming out, so you win that one. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's actually interesting. The way they do release schedules, like who knows when it comes out. Like they do most of their patching like when they do the hero releases. So, I mean, it's anyone's guess on when it might come out. They might have a maintenance next week, and it'll be out. You never know.
Yep, something might crop up, and I just can't believe it's not here. And they haven't said anything about it either. It's I kept meaning to tweet Dustin Browder about it, literally saying, "Where's my map, mate? I was promised a new map. I'm not good with heroes. New heroes bore me because I'm a terrible player. Give me some new maps." But anyway, so that didn't come out.
They just forgot to tick a box, I reckon. I reckon it was a complete accident. Like they didn't even mean to, and they're just like, "Oh, got to remove it from the patch notes."
All right, best. Oh well, hopefully it comes next week because actually, to be honest, I did read some stuff on Reddit, and a lot of people were complaining about the bosses or the things, the punishers, just being a little bit too powerful. It's probably just people not, not. I hate to say not knowing how to play, but not rethinking the new mechanics or not thinking how.
Yeah, like someone thinking Monk isn't a viable solo support.
Only has one heal. One heal. That's why.
And his third auto attack, if you.
Yeah, it's like the only trait you should be taking.
The heal one.
And it activates twice, and yes, he has to be standing on top of them, but he can jump to them.
That's it. See, it's not my fault. I didn't think he'd be a good support. All right, actually talking about heroes, let's move on to all the hero changes. So this is follow on from last week. There was, like I said, 19 heroes got updates, some major, some minor. Some you could almost even call little reworks. So much stuff was done to them. We'll try not to go over them too much or too in depth, obviously, because they've been on the PTR and now they're live. And there's a funny thing between PTR and live: things never quite transition across as well as they had on the PTR. So. And plus, we have to actually play them and get a feel for them, what they're like in the competitive environment. But we'll start with, quickly, Felstad. So, Felstad, Jaina, and Kelthus are the first three we'll quickly talk about. Felstad, he's just had a little tweak done to his Mighty Gust Heroic. It's basically been, you can use it more often now. They've reduced the cooldown, and they've also increased the slowing effect behind it as well. So, it's, what do you think this is? Do you think this is going to be bit more chosen now in the games?
Nah.
Not at all?
But maybe, like, I'd have to see it in play. Like, it might come into a niche game, maybe. Like, it might have some comp around it, like, flying in behind the tribute and pushing him back into your team. I don't know, something silly.
It's just
I can't see it actually getting play.
It's just really difficult to pull off an initiation with a gust. You've got to really put yourself in a dangerous position to be able to try and do it, and you just get stunned or something like that, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah, not only that is when you fly over him, it puts a big marker on the floor saying, "Hey, he's gonna fly here."
And Falstad's traditionally picked for his burst potential with his ult and stuff like that and everything. So it's like you want to just eliminate a target with him, It's kind of like the same reason why you don't take Bloodlust, like on Rhaegar. You take them for one particular reason.
All right, so you're thinking not being able to be in a bad position more often, it's not going to appeal to anyone? Cast it more often? No, that's sort of the same opinions I had. I don't see the damage, the damage dealt from Hinterland Blast being changed. All right, so moving on. So also on the change as well was Jaina. Her water elemental. Now, I find this detrimental. I love playing Jaina, but her water elemental no longer does any damage when it spawns, nor does it apply the chill effect when it spawns either. So you summon the water elemental. It's, as far as I'm aware, it still chills when it auto attacks, but prior to that, it doesn't. It's not giving Jaina that initial burst potential because she can't crit off a summoned water elemental. She still has to apply that initial chill somehow. But but Ring of Frost does. So you think we're going to see a lot more Ring of Frost now?
Nah.
Not at all?
It's the way it works is that it's easy to move out of unless you've already locked them down. And if you're using it to lock them down in the first place, that's not why you're going to pick it. How much more damage does it do? Do you know?
Not actually.
I don't have the talent thing open.
That's all right. I've got the
But
patch.
as for water elemental, I think it might provide more of a choice between the two. But
It just says that they reduced the cooldown from 100 seconds to 80 for
yeah, there you go. That didn't actually add any damage. I think like it's gonna stop Janers from 100 to zeroing people, especially when they have a level advantage. So it's gonna reduce the amount of insta giving she provides. But at the same time, I don't know. It might take Jaina down a list on like the tier list of assassins to pick up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, she might be more looked at as like a pick against a particular team composition where you want to like say slow them, like if they're running a Sonya or something like that, rather than just taking her as first pick.
Yeah.
Like or first ban.
Yeah.
All right. So we might see a little bit more play. It's I'm devastated. I don't think I can ever play her again now. If I can't do damage, why am I going to?
You've got Kale's warmth waiting for you.
Yeah, that's it. So to trade out the changes from from Jaina not being as good anymore, Kelthus had rework's the wrong word, but he's had a directional change, if that makes sense.
I'd say it's the equivalent of a rework because he plays differently now.
Yeah, he's So to summarize his changes, effectively he's got a smoother power ramp now. He's not so much reliant on the level 16, though level 16 does potentially give him a little bit more burst if people stand around for too long. He's got safer CC now. His CC is actually longer range. And unfortunately for all those who loved Ignite, Ignite is now gone, which is the huge change for Kelthus, which made his power level 16 so much better. Sorry, so much powerful. However, they've given him more natural damage across all his abilities. So that's why the power smooth is a bit better. Is there anything particularly in his changes, because they've added a whole bunch of talents, that you guys find surprising, interested in? It's amazed that they did it.
The gravity lapse changes are really strong for him because it gives him roam potential now. Like follow up on a roam coming down, like because the extra range on it and then level 4 with the speed, it's so strong. It's really powerful, and then his ability to clear waves and do damage with chain bomb is really high. Like I was watching some videos earlier today of like him just like just chain bombing a wave and just it's gone like immediately. And then like you can chain that into backdraft. Like he's gonna be a little bit more forward in the fights now because you won't be taking the 50% extra range on his Q. But like I feel like he's gonna be stronger like throughout the game rather than just having a really weak early and mid game, and then then you get that huge power spike at 16.
I honestly like the change because when Kalthus first came out, I literally played him with the chain bomb talents. Like, I didn't play the super Q power spike, and like this is only like for the first week or so before everyone started doing it. That I like it. It was more my play style when I originally started playing him before I started playing the wait till 16 game.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, so
one last thing I wanted to mention is with the way that they've changed gathering power, it's pretty much not worth taking anymore. It's really heavily nerfed. Like so, it just makes gravity lapse a must choose for that tier.
All right, just quick summary for gathering power for those we talked about last week. The gathering powers have changed. It's gone from used to get 5% initially, and then every kill was 2% increase to a max of 15%. Agility power increase. Ability power increase. However, they've dropped it now. You get no stacks, or you get nothing. It basically starts at 0, and you have to every time you kill a hero, you get 1% increase. So you have to effectively kill 15 heroes without dying yourself to max it out. So there's a big change with gathering power, and that's why Kelthus had a little bit of a change. I agree with you guys. I actually really like it. He was so much more smoother to play. I wasn't saying he's not. I don't think he's better to play, but I'm not waiting to level 16. I'm not sitting around for 16 levels of the game, thinking about doing something.
And then just sitting in the back of your pack, just occasionally waiting for your D and your Q to come up, and then just poking and then dropping back, and that's like the game for you.
Yeah. Game done. All right, so that is the first 3. First stabs. We're up to
Kerrigan.
Here we go. Kerrigan. Whew. Now this is hero. Kerrigan has had heaps of changes as well. She's lost a lot of talent. To be honest, I don't know what to make of her. She's not a hero that I'm familiar with, but she looks better. I like the developers' comments. She looks better. She's got some pretty funky new talents. Um, yeah, but well, just general opinions. Like it sounds like she's got three potential new builds now. Sorry, two new builds or three ways to build her, from what I can read with the changes.
Well, the ANZ scene has always run Kerrigan.
Mm.
Like, there's not many other like EU and NA that actually play her. So I'm curious how to see whether it's going to increase the amount of play that our players actually use her. But all in all, I feel like she could be better, but it's pretty much the same hero, just slight changes.
I'd argue she's a lot stronger with everything that's been changed with the like a change on her grasp and everything. Then also the fact that the cleanse nerf, where you can't make someone unstoppable, her gank potential is a lot higher. Like if you gank a lane with a support and they're level 7, like there's no guarantee you'll actually get anything from going in.
I didn't even think about clones.
Yeah, so with the cleanse changes and then like the primal grasp increases and then the shield talents and everything like that, different ways you can spec her. I'd say she could be tier 1.
Yeah.
You reckon huge jump to tier 1?
I didn't even think about cleanse changing her at all. Shit.
Yeah, it's impacted a lot of talents like Tyrael's Judgment, for instance, beforehand. Like it'd be really hard to get it off. You'd wait for the cleanse or like you'd yeah. So it's a good change. It brings a lot more viability into some of the hard CC that gets telegraphed really easy.
Yep. All right, awesome. I mean, it's just like she's just had so many little changes. It's hard to really summarize how they've sort of improved her, because she's had mana reduced, like mana drop in a lot of her abilities. Her primal grass has had its range increased by 20%. The tier 1 or the level 1 talent everyone used to take, it's now just a part of the natural ability. And that's also had its mana decreased. She's got this new sort of shield build where you can max out her trait, so it's better. You can regen health and mana during that. Like there's just so much new on her. I wish I could talk about it better. I mean, her ultralists have been upgraded a little bit.
Maelstrom's been changed too.
Yeah.
She does more burst. It doesn't last as long, but she does a little bit more burst, and it's up more often.
Yeah. I like it. I can't wait to see what some of the players do with her.
It's just, like I said, amazing change. Actually, this is one that I like to highlight. I really like the sound of this talent that she's now got. So they removed sprint from her. She no longer has sprint, but she has the Kerrigan flavored sprint, the Queen's Rush. Activate to increase movement speed by 25% for 4 seconds. Oh yeah, it's done sound amazing. However, every time she kills a hero or a hero takedown happens, the effects automatically applied. Like it activates. Like I think that sounds amazing to me. I reckon that's What do you reckon at level 13? You think that's going to be a always take, or just especially in those team fights when heroes start falling and enemies start getting away, or is that not valid? Reason why I'm not competitive.
I think it's more of a it'll be like it'll depend on the composition you're running, like and how divey you're playing. Yeah, it'll all depend. Like, I guess we'll just have to see how she's played, because I'm not traditionally a Kerrigan player. I've just seen her played a little bit and looked at her talents, and she's just looking stronger overall. And then the cleanse changes do have a big impact on her. So
yeah. All right. So lots of potential. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's Kerrigan. We've got next in the list. All right. We're just gonna pretty much skip over Reyna. Reyna's had a minor tweak to his talents and his damage, and his Inspire no longer puts his auto attack on cooldown. I don't think there's really too much to talk about there for Reyna.
No.
he's still not going to be viable for the same reasons why he wasn't picked beforehand.
He's a simple hero. He's designed for people to learn the game.
They need to bring back his original trait. That was so much fun to play with. Rather than having increased range, going back to his talent that reduces cooldowns on his abilities. Because you used to be able to get Hyperions, wipes, and creep waves, and then put up a Hyperion again straight away.
Yeah,
it was pretty OP.
That sounds totally fair.
Yeah, well, as long as you got a hit on all those things, they changed it because it was too powerful, I guess. Or they wanted to make it easier. I don't know.
Well, I can't remember. Did he have his what was it? Play the card, or was it I can't remember he's a level 20 now, play the card where it reduces the cooldown anyway?
No.
No. So that was probably try the trade-off. Is that?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's Reyna. Moving on. Thrall, his auto attack is better now. Is basically his update. So I'll just show the stream the patch note for that one. I just find it when we're talking about heroes. There we go. Thrall's basic attacks have received improvements in responsiveness, especially when shutter stepping. Stutter, sorry. Just yeah. He attacks better, like he should have been from the word go.
Mm.
Alright, moving on. So that was Thrall. Abathar. His talents have been tuned up a little bit, or tuned up, I should say, and just trying to give him a little bit more viable options or viable builds. So like or really just his ability to push lanes, or his Hive Mind symbiote's been sort of buffed in both directions. Are these really any changes, or is this just finite tweaks?
Changes
They're just
me.
they're just tuning his like ability to spec into pushing or to spec into like supporting his team. They're just like that was one of the most annoying things about playing Abathur with Hive Mind. Is if like someone walks out of range and it's like so to reacquire a target, which is great.
Yeah, so that's his. So that was his Hive Mind talent, the one that when he symbiotes, he can symbiote a second target at the same time, and just dual cast his abilities.
What I'm excited for is the Toxic next extra damage, because I used to solo queue just Abathur. You'll see it by my played games. Mostly it's Abathur. And all I do is place mines in one spot, and I wait for that Jaina, and all that Jaina dies. And then if she doesn't die, I dig in and slap her.
There you go, Slapathar.
You're the guy that I walk out of mines and I die.
Yeah, exactly. So much fun. The only way to play Abathur.
Awesome. Right, moving on. Next hero, Asmodan had what's the best way to describe Asmodan? I called it a bit of a rework, but it's not really. It's more of a bring him in line. So Asmodan seemed to have a lot of teamwork-based talents. Like you could take the healing ward, you could take the first aid, a storm shield, a little bit things like that. But Blizzard has finally decided that the Lord of Greed? Is that who Asmodan is? That the Lord of Greed should not be such a team player. And so they've actually gone and removed those elements from him, increasing his demon fantasy. But however, they've replaced that with more of a push towards your still your Global Annihilation build, massive stacks on Taste of Blood. And they've gone down more of a demon pushing build. You can actually now push fairly well with your summoned demons. Apparently, I don't play Asmodan. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on his changes?
I have to see it.
I looking at it, I feel like he's still going to be played the same way he's been played so far, competitive, with the stacks and stuff like that. His mobility and the rest of his kit isn't that great for doing a lot of the other things like the split pushing and stuff, because like one of the big things in competitive is all the roaming ganks and stuff like that, so it just gets shut down if he's trying to split a lane. Yeah. So you want to be building those stacks. So I don't know how much of an impact a lot of these changes are going to have on him. I can see why they remove things like Storm Shield and stuff like that, because you might just take that at level 20 and it'll be really big in a team fight if they dive you and you're playing a backline comp.
Yep. All right, I'd probably see it being a bit more in quick matches, because we talk about a lot of these changes and we try and apply them to a competitive scene, but we forget that there is also the more the more casual element, the people that really just quick match and play against the AI, which are all valid play styles. So maybe it's just a bit more variety in those sort of less intense games. All right.
Oh, there's a lot more casual players than there's serious players.
Even in ANZ competitive.
Mate, 90% of ANZ competitive is casual. In my eyes, anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully that trend will change. At least with the Hero League changes.
Yes.
Yeah, the rank played. Alright, Nazebo. So Nazebo's a little bit, again, I reckon a little bit huge rework. Call it rework. He's lost again. He's another hero that lost a lot of his utility talents. He also lost his own sprint talent as well. So mobility and utility is no longer a thing, and the Zebo really does. Personal opinion, you might have different ideas, but they've gone through and they've actually improved or strengthened a lot of his abilities through the talents. There's one talent that I think is just amazing. It's level 13, so they removed sprint, which I think was level 13 talent, and they've replaced it with Thing of the Deep talent. The increase your range of your abilities by about 30%. And that, like, yeah, it's
Strong.
it's so good. He can just sit at the back line and he doesn't have to, you'd have to take sprint before to live, because you have to get in close, cast your things, and then get out, and you need the sprint to do that. Now he doesn't have to worry about that at all. Yeah, it's that.
I'm just thinking of the potential zombie walls without putting yourself in danger.
Yep. Yeah, hands down, all those sort of trapping people in place. I mean, his Ravenous Spirits had its damage radius increase. Sorry, which who cares? Gargantuan still, I feel, better choice. But with all his talents doing slightly more damage, he's even his trait giving him more health and mana bonuses. I mean, Nzebo got a huge buff. He was already starting to see a lot of play. What do these changes to do?
Isn't the trait only the one that you never take anyway? Like you normally get the one that like gives you extra mana and health as you build stacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just clarifying. Yeah. But like I think he's going to be a lot stronger. His ability to poke with his spiders is going to be a lot more annoying to deal with because he's such a sustained damage in team fights. And Ravenous Spirit, I think even with the changes, it's still going to be a niche pick.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to really get an opportunity to like get it all off in a team fight, especially if they're like aware of it. They like run an Uberak into you or something like that.
All right, cool. So that is Nzebo. Oops, wrong button again. All right, what we got? We got Nzebo, Sergeant Hammer. Few minor changes, basically slightly more damage and more health, more damage, increased mobility, but still very minimized. I don't think we really need to talk about that.
They're just reverting the changes they did when they nerfed her.
Yeah.
They took her health away. Oh, they're giving health back. Make up your mind.
Alright, Sylvanas has just had the Mercenary Lord talent removed, because I think it's been combined with Superiority, vice versa. Brightwing, healing the trait's just been increased by 30% heal, is it? It doesn't. Yeah, it's been increased by about 15 to 20%, according to the developer comments. So I don't think we really need to talk too much on that regards. Malfurion, I think we'll have a stop on this one. So the only change to Malfurion is that he's had his rampant growth talent increased. It's no longer a 20% initial heal. It's now sitting at 50%. This was basically not taken because it was pathetic. Is it any better?
Wasn't like the 20% only like an extra like 60 heal burst or something at level 20? So like an extra 20%, it's like 80, 90%, 80, 90 heal at level 20. I still don't think, with considering the range, the like root potential and like the poke potential with your W and stuff, like you can safely clear lanes with Moonburn and stuff like that. Like if you're solo laning as Melf.
Yeah, the range is much better.
Yeah.
It's just too strong. Like the amount of roots you can get just with that 30% extra range that you wouldn't get otherwise. Oh.
It'd have to be like 100% extra bonus burst heal, I think, before I'd think of taking.
Sure, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
I mean, an interesting thing with the developer notes in that one as well is that they've looked at it and they agree that the healing's is very undertuned for that talent, but they've got this real fear of giving Malfurion too much of a solid burst or burst potential or burst healing potential, I should say. So it's it's that's their greatest concern with this, and they reckon that 50% actually sounds pretty bad in a vacuum, but they reckon eventually it does add up with the additional amount of healing it gives, and over a sustained period of time, they reckon that it's potential to outpace things like protective shield, things like that. That's the developer note. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It's actually interesting the way that they do that. Like, he doesn't have any like ability power boosts or anything like that. I don't really know if the numbers should be represented by a percentage. They should really be a number. Makes it easier for newer players that don't actually look at the spreadsheets to see how much they're actually doing in heals.
Yeah.
Because that was a problem. You like a lot of people in quick match and like Hero League would take that talent without really realizing how bad it was.
Well, you got to remember, it also affects the periodical regrowth that he does as well. So theoretically, 50% is 100%. Because you get that extra one if you pick that talent anyway.
Yeah.
Life Seed.
I can't remember what it's called, but
Life Seed.
Oh, Life Seed, yeah.
So you got to factor that in as well. Maybe they've factored that in as well. I don't know. But I still don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. All right, I just thought stop on that. That was an interesting one. I like developers' comment. It's an interesting insight to how they design these heroes. Because we all know that Malfurion's not a burst healer, and it's just nice confirmation that Blizzard are along the same path. It's just nice seeing that on paper for a change, as opposed to maybe Blizzard just messed up.
Just drop that talent, give him another talent that's equal with 30% extra range.
Something that's better.
Especially if they don't want to give him burst, and then then they don't have to worry about tuning his heals later or changing that talent again.
Change that talent to protective shield.
There
you go. You've given him his burst option, and
Yep.
you could also weigh that up with the 30% extra range. Done.
Yep.
There you go, Blizzard. Done your job for you.
Hire this man.
We should date this and see how long it takes for changes like that to come into effect. Predicted, it's like Nostradamus stuff there.
It literally solves the problem.
All right, that's Malfurion. Moving on. So we have next Rhaegar. He's just had a reduced cooldown on his Bloodlust. We kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. That same reason for Falstad and his Mighty Gust. It's situational.
It's a quick match thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you pick up that.
I was about to say, we built a comp around Sergeant Hammer the other day where we had Reyna, Bloodlust, and then Torondo with the auto attack extra damage aura. And we just waited till 16 and then just barged through them, and they couldn't do anything about it. As soon as they tried to fight us, we just Bloodlust and kill them.
All right.
And Spire on top of that. It's pretty crazy.
Right, sorry, Kruvin, did you have a...
Oh, yeah. I was just going to reiterate my point beforehand. It's like, you pick that particular hero to heal, like, so you generally want that big burst heal.
Yep.
Like when you're team fighting, it's just too strong, and yeah. It's the same reason why Divine Palm is going to be a pick over like Palm Strike, even though Palm Strike's so fun in solo queue.
You're taking that heal, that stays, that protection. That's one of the... do you think that's a core reason why you're taking the monk? Like obviously you're taking the heal, so I guess so.
Well, I mean, I take the heal if I'm stacking with people, but yeah, otherwise I take Palm Strike and then cast on the tanks so that I can talk about how good my damage is in the game.
All right, moving on, and then we got after Rhaegar we have Tassadar. He's had a couple of changes, but effectively it's just he no longer has Spell Shield, and they've tweaked some of his talents and abilities, so he uses a little bit less mana, but he can't use his trait as often. That's pretty much it for Tassadar. I don't think he's really changed at all. Chen's flying kick is now more accurate. Leoric greatly reduces the amount of healing gained while he's dead, basically, and his skeletal swing no longer wrecks structures. Pretty much the two changes there. And then we just got, again, Sonya and Tyrael. I just feel they're just very, very minor tweaks to their abilities. Not really too much. I know, actually, with Tyrael, they talked about sanctification and a little bit of the changes they've done to that one. Hopefully, we'll get a bit more use or see a bit more action out of that. Thoughts on that? Do you think sanctification or that judgment diving into that back line?
We ran sanctification against Immunity last night, so they last pick Thrall.
Yep.
Yeah, Sundering.
Yeah.
Bye-bye sanctification.
Yep. All right, so the ability to plonk it somewhere. Nah.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It is a lot better, even though the range is smaller. Like, it doesn't really matter, especially like on some maps like Sky Temple and stuff like that, where you're contesting an objective or an area. Yeah, and then the arc changes are really nice too.
Yeah.
Much needed.
All right. So final thoughts and opinions on the hero changes. Good or bad?
Yeah,
Some
I'd say. I'll let
good,
you go.
some why even, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them just I don't even understand why you would even change it. Like there's so many other things wrong with the character. You could have just like left it till then. Like Thrall, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're just doing small tweaks and then watching to see how that affects its win rates and stuff like that. If
Mm.
I had to guess. But yeah, yeah, I think most of the changes are pretty good. It's with the cleanse changes and stuff you guys talked about last week. It makes like a lot more heroes viable in some of their hard
Mm.
CC, like Judgment and Kerrigan, and the arc change is a big one. That's good. Like his god tier on like Dragonshire, it's almost impossible to take DK with him around because he just like dies and then comes back with full health and mana and sits at top and just keeps capping over and over again. So his respawn timer being increased is great. Sonya changes going to be a little bit interesting. Her sustain lane is going to be a bit different in the way you're going to have to play her, and it's a shame that she lost superiority. Her hard shoving is going to be hurt a little bit. But yeah, otherwise, overall, I'm pretty happy with the changes and Boulder Storm and stuff like that. Much needed.
Yeah. I feel everything's been a good change. Yeah. I feel the good outweighs the bad, and there's nothing particularly bad. I feel nothing that I'm too sad to see go. All right, and that's pretty much the done. That is.
Oh, if I can say one last thing, I'm
Oh, yeah.
glad that they changed it so you can't 5 stack Hero League anymore. Hopefully, people will be more inclined to scrim now since they can't practice in Hero League. Because I assume Team League is going to continue to be a graveyard.
Well, Team League's gone.
Well, I mean, like queuing is 5. Like I was like watching everyone queue up like today and like last night and stuff when it came out, and it's like everyone's 4 stacking. It's like it's just 4 stacks now instead of 5. And
I was whispering everyone saying you filthy 4 stacking scum.
and then yeah, it's like if no one's queuing 5 stack, it means like some of these teams are only like practicing for tournaments and competitive in Hero League. So hopefully this change will force them to actually start scrimming and participate more in the community if they want to get better at the game as a fight.
Yep. All right. All right.
Scrim
Moving.
us.
Pardon, sorry.
I was just saying scrim us.
All right. So, I mean, there's a couple of other things also in the patch notes that we're not gonna go over, like people game portraits and things like that. New portraits, new artwork, sounds. Go check out the patch notes yourself. Like always, I'll post them in the post on my blog. If you want to go and check out all those details and stuff, all links coming soon. And we also had the monk drop in the patch this morning. Obviously, we already had a little bit of a discussion on that. I don't want to go into any great detail because I was wrong in my prediction. Now, because it's always good to wait a week after it goes live and see exactly what comes of the monk. Give people a chance to play it. Those of us who don't have the money to buy it on the PTR, but do have the gold, can actually now buy him and play him. I'll just go over your initial thoughts. What is the monk?
I'd argue he's a bit of a niche pick. Like, you can't play him into every team composition. He's going to go really well with diving and stuff like that. He can kind of be countered a little bit because a lot of his healing can come from his auto attacks. So if you play him into the right composition against another right composition, you get a lot of auto attacks. He can be countered pretty easy with like Johanna's blind and stuff like that because you lose a lot of your heal. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with him. Tempo Storm have actually been scrimming in PTR, and they were commenting on the fact that he's definitely a viable solo support. So be interested to see how he impacts the ANZ meta here. I'm definitely looking forward to playing him next week when the tournament's over.
Yeah.
I think I'm really happy that there's another support. That's my biggest yay, because like there's gonna be a lot less of oh, we've already picked up our support, we're gonna ban your Rega, so you have to go Ether, and if you don't go Ether, we're gonna pick it. Yay, you have no support. It's like it adds a niche into that as well.
Yeah.
As for the monk itself, yeah, it's good. I'm really trying to think of the exact words to use to just how I think he's going to play. And I think it's going to be like, if you are playing a dive comp, especially with like Kerrigan now, I think he's going to be really heavy. But if somebody drafts him into like a sit back Jaina Kale comp, yeah, it's not going to work. He's going to be really comp specific. And I can just imagine the terrible drafts where people pick him and then they're like let's say someone picks up Monk. He's really going to be like that last pick support if whatever. But I can imagine a lot of teams like pick him up straight away and then the other team just grabs like the Zeratools, the Sonyas, and the Kerrigans. And it's just like, congratulations, you have a support that you can't support your team. And like, I don't know. It's going to really come down to drafting, to how useful he's going to be.
Yeah, and it's good though, because anything that alleviates the problems with drafting at the moment. Because like for instance, you could first pick Uther, and if they don't pick their support next phase, and you get to banning phase, you can you can take them off burst heals, or you can take them off sustain heals, like, and force them into a particular healer, and then base your composition around like what kind of healing they're gonna have. So yeah, any new heroes that can be viable supports is good, because it helps alleviate that. I don't know how much Monk will actually impact that, because he's so situational, but maybe we'll have to wait for the StarCraft meta.
He adds options. Basically, that's what I'm hearing, that he adds an option to the game for teams and comps. And he, if heroes are banned out, you can go, well, we could take the Rhaegar, we could take the Uther, or we could take, a Kharazim.
He's going to be a drafting hero.
Yeah. All right, so that's that. I reckon that's all the big things from the patch now. Hero, all the talent changes that we did last week, all the other bits and pieces. Let's move on. ANZ events. What is happening around our scene? Well, this weekend we have the August X5 monthly brawl being put on by our amazing event organizer here, Happyrage. Do you want us to take us through that?
Yeah, so sign-ups close tomorrow night. I believe I put on the forums that it's at 6 p.m, but that's just a copy paste from an old post that I did way ages ago. It's going to be at midnight AEST, whatever, blah 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 blah, tomorrow night. And hopefully more teams sign up. Monk and the new map is irrelevant because it's not in the game, but the Monk's going to be banned by choice of the community. I went out and asked people, like, do you guys want it banned or do you want it playable? I pretty much came down to the decision that if anybody wanted it banned, it would be banned, because it is playable on the PTR. I'll let them decide for themselves. And people want it banned, so it's going to be banned.
That's it. So it's not going to be this week, not in this weekend. And no map either. Man, that's devastating. I really love that map. I can't tell you.
Oh, stuff happens.
What time is it starting? So people who are interested in watching on this Saturday coming, when can they watch it? Where can they watch it?
10 a.m. AEST on Saturday at X5 Live Twitch.
Yep. Streamed
by yours truly, Mr. Disconcur.
Yeah.
And we still need to set that all up tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be good. Hopefully. Hopefully we get more teams signing up.
Is XL5 going to make a showing for this monthly?
I have not even spoken to him about it, so I don't know.
Yeah, because we haven't been able to get any scrims with them lately. They've been a bit MIA, so yeah. It's
they all took a break from the game for a bit.
Yep.
Pretty sure they're all coming back this week. Hopefully they sign up, but hopefully it's not. If it's a 3-man tournament, I might just do like a round robin.
I was going to ask for that. I was like, can we just do a round robin? Because
because otherwise it's going to be, congratulations, 2 teams have to play until they play whoever in the finals. Yeah, it's over.
Well, it's kind of like the skins don't become a prize anymore. It's a participation award.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the skins for your stream if you run one.
Yeah, exactly. I might do a round robin if it doesn't pan out the way it should, but yeah, we'll see.
I think we should at least get 6 teams, hey, because in theory there's no shows who, as far as I was aware, they were signing up. Sorry?
Yeah. I've had plenty of people say, oh yeah, we're signing up. They just haven't signed up.
It's an
It's
interesting
like,
situation.
yeah, we are. We're just confirming our roster. It's like,
Just finding the
what
four
does that
other.
even mean?
It's confirming the roster. I'm just looking for 4 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
interesting. A few teams have disbanded or like reformed, and like I know Silicon Sports is still trying to look to fill out their roster. They need 2 more people, so maybe the next month will be have a stronger showing because like there was a lot of mix-ups and change-ups with a lot of the teams disbanding or changing rosters and stuff. We're still in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might not be joining up just because they're not ready.
Yeah. Oh, and we also lost all the bottom feeder teams that came through just because of the prize pool. Oh, God, I'm about that for ages.
I have a 60% win rate in quick match. I should totally do this.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing all those teams though.
Oh, mate. If only my post worked. It was a work of art. Yeah.
Just that you get the joy of writing it again. All right.
Oh,
So
I might just do a video because that way it can't get deleted.
Oh, did they delete your post?
Oh, no, it didn't get deleted. It was like, oh, it would be like an essay of like what I really thought, and like, because normally I'm pretty conservative with what I say because not only am I representing myself, but I'm representing X5, and this was just like a brutal what I really think and how people are idiots for thinking otherwise.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and pretty much gave proof to why it's silly. Yeah, I don't know. You have to find out when I finish doing it.
more in this space. Talking point next week.
Mate. Yeah, exactly. I could turn it into a whole web show.
All right, and
We'll just turn it into a debate.
Oh, cool. And so anyway, that is the August Brawl. Another cool event that's coming up is there's actually 2 events we're going to talk about tonight, but because our other guest Ruck was unable to make it, we're going to hold that off. Try and get him on the show next week so he can talk about a league he's starting up. But there is a pretty cool event for people who aren't who aren't competitive but are interested in sort of experiencing the competitive feel. We've got an ANZ Royal Rumble being run by Morton, who was on the show last week. A solo queue casual tournament. Sounds pretty cool. Sign up. You just sign up individually, and then you get assigned to a team effectively on the day, and then you play. You play in I think it's double elimination, is it? Yep, double elimination, single ban, random maps. So cool for people who are either interested in getting into the competitive scene or want to try it out, see if they can handle the pressure. Is it something they could do, or just want to have a bit of fun? Has that been confirmed with dates, or is it just sign-ups for the moment?
It's confirmed for the 29th of August, 10 a.m. AST. Actually, I might check to see how many people signed up. Okay. But sign-ups close on the 27th at 8 p.m.
Last time I checked, it was like there was 36 people signed up, or that was I was told by Morton. So it looks like there's a lot of people really keen and interested for it. That's really good to see.
Stole my idea. Nah, just kidding.
Another thing you were planning to do?
Oh, yeah, like literally the day before. He must have been like hacking my Skype. Literally the day before. I'll send you a little print screen. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, here we go.
Not seeing Disconcur in this list of players. What is this?
It's I'm planning to shoutcast the games.
Yeah, take a look at that. That's literally the day before he posted. It was my idea.
And it's going to be fun. Some of the competitions start running when the competitive community gets a little bit larger. I was talking to Happyrage like a few weeks ago when there was like so many teams signed up. Oh, we should do a state of origin at some point, like the best of each state. And like it's only 3 competitive teams signed up for this weekend, so that's not likely.
That's
you're insane for thinking that. I kind of thought like, that would be really awesome. I could make like a video and like have like a time lapse of like Perth and then all the Perth players and Adelaide, all the Adelaide players, Sydney, all the Sydney players, and blah 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 blah. And then like, you got my hopes up.
What's that? That'd be like 8 competitive teams per state.
I was thinking like like a time lapse of each city and then the names of the players come up and shit. Like I thought like this could be really good, and then like, yeah, didn't happen.
No. Oh well. Coming. We'll go work on it. See if we can get develop. I think we can develop the scene a little bit more. ANZ's got room to grow. It's just got to get the right people doing the right things, basically. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's like at least 250 competitive TF2 players still playing now after the game's been out forever. So it's a free to play like this, like and they just compete for bragging rights. There's no prizes at all. There's no like skins or anything like that. They just play and it's weekly tournament. Like they play every week.
Yeah.
It gives them points to the end of the season to qualify for like semi-finals and stuff like that, and they get a little trophy next to their name on the forums. Like that's what they're competing for. So I mean, it's bit sad that the community is asking for lots of money, but I mean, I guess hopefully those people will be replaced. People actually want to play competitively and just play the game.
I mean, I don't think it's the community as a whole. I think there's just a lot of loud voices in the community.
Mate, at the bottom of my rant that I typed up that didn't let me post for some reason, like it just when I click post, it's like too many characters, cut it in half. Wouldn't work, blah 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 blah. Anyway, at the bottom it was like, this is not aimed at the players that regularly sign up. This is aimed at the players that say, "Oh, I would compete, but there's nothing to play for." And like, it's basically a vicious circle of you need to create a scene for people to want to invest and monetize.
Well, when you look at it, these people aren't actually playing to be competitive. Like they're just playing, like just because there's the potential to make money. Like I play because I enjoy getting better at the game and like playing against other people, and the environment's fun. That's why I do it.
The best tournament I've ever hosted was Kings of the Alpha. There was only 4 teams, but the tournament was for a title to say, hey, we're the best of the Alpha. That was it. And it was the most competitive, the most fierce tournament, the most equal in skill gap. Like it was the best tournament to date. The first one we did that we mocked up in like minutes. Like it was really terribly organized. Like the rule sets didn't make sense. It was like really poorly written by myself, and it was hands down the best event I've ever seen, watched, been a part of, and like and like some of my best memories of watching competitive Heroes was that tournament, and like I wish we could just have it again.
Maybe that's how we should approach the monthlies. Just make it a disorganized mess.
No, well, it was just people playing because they wanted to compete. That was it. Like there was no end game. There was no carrot at the end of the stick. It was just people wanting to compete, and it was the most blissful thing. Like one of the players I hate the most in the world because he's just a trash of a human being. One of my favorite memories is him zipping around and using a Brightwing Gust and like winning a game by himself. And like it is like everyone will know who I'm talking about by that. But that was one of my like niche memories, like one of my favorite memories in Heroes of the Storm. The player that I absolutely despise winning a game for something that didn't matter. It was bliss.
All right,
really need that again.
That's good note to end that part of the conversation on. I was looking really forward to that post video, whatever it turns into, because I think there's a lot of very good points to hopefully come out of it.
Oh, it's an angry rant. I'll give you a preview before I do it. Preview. I'll let you do my notes, mate.
I can spell check it for you.
Yeah, don't want me to do that.
I'll probably just do a video rather than that, because it's a lot easier to convey with voice and reasoning rather than to read it, and then people just like, oh, too long, didn't read.
and just in case anyone would lose anything in context, you can really get out what you mean.
Yeah.
All right,
so the versification of Happyrage, that'll be the video.
My honest opinion is I think money was probably the worst thing and set back our scene a lot more than anything.
It's definitely not the end all, but we'll move on because there's a couple more things to talk about.
Yeah,
so,
no worries.
Another cool thing happening on August the 20th, and I'm sorry everyone that I have not converted the time yet. Please go to Google and fix it yourselves. August 20th at 12:01 PDT is a developer Ask Me Anything on Reddit for Heroes of the Storm. However, they say it's Ask Me Anything. It's Ask Me Anything about the 3 following subjects, which is Karazim, the Infernal Shrine, and the latest patch notes. And they've got 3 game designers who'll be attending. I'm not 100% sure who any of these guys are, so I don't really care too much about them. If it's not Dustin Browder or Chris Metzen, I don't really want to know. But there are 3 designers. Ask Me Anything happening on Reddit, August 20th, 12:01 PDT. I will get a conversion for the blog post. And yeah, it's roughly going to be about 2 hours long. Be interesting to see what their thoughts and opinions are, and why my Infernal Shrines map is not out yet.
I was literally about to say that.
Those
Number one
fucks.
question.
Yeah, where's my fucking map, boys?
If I had to guess, maybe it's so they can drag out the Eternal Conflict event with the treasure goblins and stuff like that.
Oh, the
It's 'cause
50
They got no content.
kill event.
They're still trying to think. Shit. Now we need to make a StarCraft map because we're bringing out the medic.
Oh
And then
shit,
we're
we need to
bringing
make new assets.
We're bringing out the StarCraft tank. Oh no. Rexar. Damn it. Now we need to do a World of Warcraft one.
Maybe,
Legion's coming. Shit. Tomb of Sargeras.
That's it. They've had plenty of time to think of this. They should just do my idea. They should load into a Legion one now, and then when BlizzCon comes around, fire up the StarCraft 2 one, or vice versa. StarCraft 2 into a Legion event for BlizzCon.
I'd be so happy if they just ignored releasing Warcraft characters for like 6 months and just fill out the rest of the universes.
Oh, yeah, Warcraft is pretty heavily represented, but they've got so many cool characters. Let's release Rexar first, and then the other ones can come along.
Goblin Mecha Talk, mate. They hinted at it a long time ago. They should do it. But honestly, what I think they should do is scrap this idea of the Diablo expansion and then the StarCraft expansion. They should come up with cool ideas, design the heroes, release them when they're ready. Enough of this, like, oh, we're going to release 3 or 4 friggin' Diablo heroes in a row. It's like, who cares what franchise they're from? Just design good heroes.
I think all the heroes have been pretty well designed.
Oh yeah, they are well designed, but they seem to be focusing too much on it that it puts so much time between actual heroes coming out. And like we had monthly long patches, and they always seem to come out right before the X5 monthly brawl. So I'm gonna have to like move them to the start of the month rather than the end of the month.
I have a potential release date list that I'm gonna put on my blog in the next couple of days. The list I said last week. Check it out and just make sure that you run the events the week before those dates I said, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna like start doing them at the start of the month.
Just do it like the next one on the 3rd of October or something.
Just design heroes when they're ready.
Yeah,
Alright.
their development pipeline's interesting because it seems like a lot of the heroes are already fleshed out and completed, but they just want to do that development cycle of like every 3 to 6 weeks, release another hero and then have it themed. And
it's funny that they say it's only 3 weeks. I heard a thing that it takes they reckon that it takes about 6 months to develop a character for Heroes of the Storm. Even though they're being released on this 3-week cycle, it's like that's the groundwork. Like that's the coding and the graphic design, with the actual hero concept and what his abilities will be sound like it's a much longer process. Because
maybe they have
tweaking numbers. I mean, you could come up with a cool idea that just completely breaks the game and like changes everything. And if you implement it into that, everyone would rage quit.
Yeah.
Even though it could be the coolest idea for a character. Like, one of my ideas was to remove cleanse and then bring out a support hero that has cleanse as their trait.
Yeah.
So then you're removing the cleanse in general. And like you're just having this niche pick
The
that
insta-pick.
can cleanse.
Insta-pick,
Yeah,
insta-ban.
yeah, it would be insta-pick, insta-band, but it's an idea.
It'd definitely be a unique thing for them. Alright, so that's moving on from the Ask Me Anything. That's actually only about 3 things developer thing on Reddit. I wonder how many alternative questions will be asked. How many people are going to ask about matchmaking? Actually, they said on the Heroes of the Storm subreddit, they did say we should do a Heroes of the Storm Ask Me Anything drinking game. Every time someone brings up matchmaking, take a shot. I think that would be very messy in the first 20 seconds. Alright, moving on. Got another things. Very, very quickly running out of time. Yeah, I'll talk about that next week. We'll skip over that. Diablo 3 cross-promotional rewards. Ever wanted Diablo in your Hero of the Storm collection, but you are too frigid to actually spend money on him? because he currently sucks as a hero choice. Oh, he's not a very good hero choice. Well, following the release of this patch, or the patch that has dropped, basically log into Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, and you will receive Diablo in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
Pre-hero pickup. It's pretty cool. Malthiel's Phantom Steed. You wanted an awesome looking mount in Heroes of the Storm? Well, starting in Season 4, that's like for another 2 or 3 weeks, get a Diablo 3 character up to level 70 in the seasonal play, and receive a free Malthiel's Phantom mount in Heroes of the Storm. And then you get some portraits and pennants and stuff in Heroes of the Storm and Diablo 3. Who cares about that? I'll tell you what, I was not going to play Diablo 3 at all this month, but I have definitely changed that opinion, and I will be playing Diablo 3. So well done, Blizzard. Get me back into a game that I stopped playing because I hated it.
I'll just wait 3 weeks till everyone else is 70 and they're offering to power level people.
Come on, guys, I'm from Apex. Power level me.
Oh, I got mates that still play it, so I'll just ask them. I'll just be like, hey, power level me. It only takes like 5 minutes, doesn't it? Something like that. Like once somebody's actually grounded out, you can cash somebody up so quick. It's ridiculous. I'll just ask them to boost.
Yeah, just run them through torment, and you gain a level like every 5 seconds.
And then I'll sell it. Hey, you guys, you want a max level character?
Done.
Yeah, you have to donate towards a prize pool for a tournament. There you go.
All right, so that's. I think we're going to have to cut the show there because I do try and keep it to an hour. And unfortunately, we were going to discuss about playing support because we did have one of the most impressive support players on the scene, Happyrage. Now, I mean, obviously, Kruvin.
Disconcur. Obviously talking about Disconcur.
Hey, the only character I play well is support because I get to live in the back line.
But actually, if you go to my hero league, it comes up with the new hero that you've played the most on the left or whatever. It's Lily.
That's Lily.
I need to launch. Yep.
When Hero League came out, that's when Lily got her super buff, like the 300% extra heals and stuff. But I just powered through it. I got bitch seed in support in my 5 stack, and I was just like, I'll just pick Lily because she's fun.
Yeah.
Fun new hero.
Oh god, I don't even want to look up. I'm gonna look at how many games of Brightwing I got. I've got 570 games of Brightwing.
Then Brightwing is the one that comes up.
Yeah, Brightwing's the one that comes up, and like half my ranked games are like Brightwing too, before they ruined her.
Actually, did you know they actually fixed up the statistics now in game, where you can search by different map types and all the most takedowns and stuff is been fixed.
It means I can filter out the AI games from Michael so that I can actually see how well he's playing. So he's not playing statistics.
Don't do that.
But you'll see all my Abatha AI games back when you could use the AI games to do your dailies. I used to just AFK Abatha because the what do you call it, little minion things that come out of you keep you in battle, so you don't AFK. So as long as they keep sporting your hitting stuff, you're perfectly fine, and the AI never finds you.
Just permanently symbiote like one of the bots.
All right. Well, before we continue on, guys, we'll just end the show there. It's I don't think there's enough time. I don't want to stretch out the show any longer. Kruvin, we'll definitely have to get you on a show again to talk a bit more about the support role. There was just so much happening in the last 2 weeks that just really has blown out the show. But yeah, thanks very much for coming on the show tonight. You've been a great guest. So tell us, Kruvin, if people are more interested in your antics, your opinions, because apparently they are right about everything, except for when patch notes are released, or patches are released. Where can people find you?
Where can they find me? They just add me on Battle.net, I guess. I hang out a bit on the ANZ TeamSpeak. Though I hide an Apex channel, but I come down occasionally and survey the lands.
So, yeah, you come down to the keep, off the throne.
Come off my pedestal.
You never come down to the lounge with me and Local. Me and Local
because
like that lounge all day.
Local intimidates me from all the banning he did the other week from people abusing the complaint system.
All right, so that's Kruvin. And again, thank you very much, Happyrage. You've been an excellent co-host. You're extremely knowledgeable. Thank you for running all the awesome events or most of the events that happen around the scene. So if people are interested and want to talk more about you, if people want to see your Angry Rage video,
Oh.
where can they
Oh.
find you?
X5_Happyrage on Twitter. Happyrage #1890 on Battle.net, and YouTube the Happyrage19. And yeah, stuffy stuff.
All right. And I am Disconcur. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you are interested in anything I do, search Disconcur on everything. At Disconcur on Twitter, Disconcur on Facebook, Disconcur on YouTube. I have branded Disconcur. It is mine. The only other website in the world that has it is the Urban Dictionary. So, thanks very much for watching, everyone. You've all been great. I will see you guys later, and as always, have fun in the Nexus. Now, the bit I'm terrible at is my outro video movie thingamajig. It will play any moment, I swear. There we go.
Hey, Gemma.
Outro music.
Come here. Don't you want to see what the guys are saying about you in chat? I'll show you in a minute when you're ready.
They can still hear you, by the way. You still go out to the internet.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's curious. The guy called Benjamin was being very rude.
Alright, that is done, I believe. Episode